What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Teddy Atlas. Teddy Atlas states that Anthony Joshua didn't behave like a champion, and a lot of people gave him a lot of backlash. They were like, "Hey, man, what are you saying? Why would you say that?" And he simply explained it like it's not what he did after, because that's the first thing they said. Well, hey, you know how he took the defeat? He graciously took the defeat, but he was like, well, he was saying he didn't act like a champion in the ring, meaning he didn't do the things or make the adjustments that he needed inside the ring at that day, on the day, to overcome like other champions would do, and it sounded harsh, but remember something about Teddy Atlas. Teddy Atlas calls it how he sees it. Teddy Atlas has no vested interest in anything. You know what I mean? He's just that dude. And in comparisons to other fighters, he has a point. If you look at Anthony Joshua, first of all, if he had a concussion, people, he shouldn't have been there. You know what I mean? We can't overlook that, because if you're going to talk about it, you're going to talk about one truth or one side. You got to talk about all sides. If Anthony Joshua was damaged goods going in there, he should have done what and obeyed what his father told him to do. Took his father's advice, because you don't want to go in a high caliber fight with a guy that you don't even know what he consists of. You think you know, but you don't know. But you shouldn't have been there. But here's the thing. Joshua gets in a situation where he gets hurt again. You got to question, how far will he go? You know what I mean? Will he just be one of those people that get knocked out, and then, and don't have another gear, don't have that grit, that extra to overcome. You know what I mean? And the most sad part about it is if that's the case, when he went down in the third round for getting too overzealous, okay, he knew then he couldn't engage with Andy. He couldn't, especially mid-range. He was going to get picked apart. And my thing is, the trainer didn't see that. So I'm thinking, okay, well, what kind of, and then being gassed like that, you got to ask yourself, okay, well, what kind of condition he was in? That's a factor, and fatigue will make cowards of men, right? Fatigue will make cowards of men anyway. So you got to put that in perspective. But what Teddy was saying is he didn't find a way to overcome compared to someone like Mayweather. Mayweather's been hurt again. Remember the second round of the Mosley fight? Mayweather held on for dear life. But guess what he did? He did not go down, and he did not lose. Okay? He found a way to win. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like certain fighters do certain things because they know what's on the line. As though Joshua didn't act that way. He didn't. Okay? He didn't act like, oh shit, I'm going to lose everything I worked for all this time, this 3 years, getting all these belts. I'm going to lose it at MSG. He didn't have that spirit like, oh shit, I got to get up. This motherfucker done knocked me down. Now it gets real. You know what I mean? This guy, he clocked me. Oh shit, I got to get up and do something. Let me do the same thing I did to knock his ass down before. Let's do a little back and forth. It would be different. That fight would be a just totally different fight if Joshua would have got up and inflicted pain and dropped Ruiz again. It would have been like the back and forth kind of deal. That's like Victor Ortiz and Maidana. It was a back and forth thing, but Maidana had that extra, that extra gear, right? So he showed, like Ruiz did. Perfect example. Ruiz went down, and Ruiz was like, hey, it's going to be do or die. It wasn't like that with Joshua. It was just going to be die, because I ain't doing shit. You know what I mean? I ain't doing as much as that. I'm not doing any more than what I've been doing. And that was the problem, and I think that's what Teddy Atlas was talking about. And, Teddy's been around a lot. He's been around a lot of people. And it did make me question, he was happy to be there. It's just, you got to determine, you got to question what type of heart does Joshua have? That all remains to be seen on the rematch. So the rematch will show us so much about Anthony Joshua, and it is do or die. And he needs to understand that. You know what I mean? And look at it this way, people. If Anthony Joshua has made this type of money, and he's made this money based on his fighting skills, his ability, his character, the influence that he has, of course, his promotions, the way he's built, that all is a package of Anthony Joshua, okay? But you have to understand something and be realistic about it. If Anthony Joshua cannot deliver inside the ring, all that stuff outside the ring goes away, because that's what got him here in the first place, right? All that other stuff was a distant second, you know? But that all goes away if he doesn't deliver in this rematch. You know what I'm saying? That's real. And what Teddy's saying, he didn't behave like a champion. Well, he has to show those championship qualities. He has to show that, hey, I can get off this canvas like he did with Klitschko. Okay? You know, that showed you everything of, okay, this guy has heart. But look how long it took him to recover. It did take him, he got dropped in the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. Ninth round, he was getting back under himself. That was a long time. But he got dropped in the 3rd, right? 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. He got dropped in the 7th again. Then again. Okay, he went down 3 times in the 7th round. So, you're like, okay, well, you know, obviously he supposed to have his bearings back in 3 rounds, because that's the same amount of rounds it took him to recover in the Klitschko fight. But Klitschko is not Ruiz. Ruiz knew. Ruiz had that instinct. Look, I got this guy hurt. I know this guy respects me now. You know, and it was funny as hell seeing that short dude, that big guy avoiding punches from a short guy coming from that angle. It was like David and Goliath, real talk. It was like David and Goliath. You know, like Goliath on roids, you know what I mean? But it was a trip, you know. It's just a funny thing to see anyway, you know, and it was strange. It was a weird thing to see. But what Teddy Atlas was saying made sense, because Anthony Joshua has to have that second gear. If he has it, he has to show it in the next fight, because he didn't show it that night. Now, again, this is assuming he wasn't compromised, okay? So if he was compromised, again, people, he shouldn't be in there. So I don't want to hear, oh, you know, he was concussed. Look, if that was the case, he shouldn't have been there, period. That's my counterpunch on that. You guys tell me what you think about Teddy Atlas's comments. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.